Hey guys, and welcome back to Bag of Tips. Here where I try and give you some tips on how to improve your games. And today, we're going to go ahead and look at what I call a party dashboard, which essentially gives us all the relevant information we need for our party when we're running our games. Just as a quick reminder, these videos aren't meant to be an overall technicality guide on how to do things, but instead I'm just going to give you the bare bone basic information so you can actually take what I give you and reverse engineer it so you can use it as you wish. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start looking into what we have here. So if you've come from my previous videos of my NPC and settlement builds, if not, I do recommend on checking that. I will remember, I hope, to put a card up above me now, so I recommend going to check that out. But essentially, I'm hoping that you've essentially taken some of that information and started playing around with it, and maybe even gone ahead and started making a player version, which is something that I do have on myself here. I'll bring this up so you can kind of see. It works very similarly. It doesn't have some things in there, but it has others, such as who it's played by, and a few other bits of information. I can take away things such as like some of their character traits and stuff like that, because it's the players who decide their own characters, so I don't really need to have that relevant information. However, what we're going to do, we're going to be taking information like that, as well as maybe things from quests, from services like items they may be requested, and even letters that the players have sent off or even received, so we can keep all of that tracked all in one location, without needing to have 200 different places we need to check. So let's actually break down what we have in front of us here. So in this first section we have the current party, who's actually in our current party either immediately or who may be gone off to do something within the area. So we have my two player characters here. Yes, I have two players, and I have some NPCs that also coincide with the party for the most part, so I do like to keep track of both my players and my NPCs that are within this party. So as you can see, I have some basically links which go to their character sheets. I'm not going to go into these ones because they have a lot of information that I really don't want to share, but I do also have the NPCs such as Navif, who is also more commonly known as Riverfist. We also have Lerla, and we also have Keelash, and we have pictures underneath all of them, so we have a quick reference of how they actually look like. Underneath we have their actual pronouns, their race, their current condition, which everyone is currently healthy, and their actual current location, which is Meswich. Now this could be something ever so slightly off, such as a maybe they're around Meswich in a certain location nearby. As long as I know where they are exactly, I don't need to get super specific with the exact location of these people. As long as I know roughly where they are, that's the main thing. That's all I need to really worry about. Under this, I have a session log. This essentially shows me the 9 most recent sessions with little quick notes underneath them, so I can get a quick reference of, oh, what session did these guys clear out Overhead Keep? Oh, that was actually session 13, and it's right there, so I can go ahead and go into that one. And it also has links there. I won't go into these too much because they have important information, but they are in there, so you can actually go ahead and start looking into them. And I also have linked to other places such as the actual Overhead Keep itself. I have links when I mention certain towns or cities, and I even have people as well. So again, it's all about just linking everything in Obsidian, so you can quickly find that information when you need to. If you're like, oh, who is Lerla Biggle, for example, and you can click on that and you'll be able to find them, no problem. And then actually, if one thing I forgot to mention, and with both of these, I have these new session logs here, and as you can see, it goes to databases. So essentially all I need to do is just click on these, and what will happen is it'll take me straight to the place of where I can search a database for certain things or even add new ones. So down below we also have the quests that are currently active and they're currently tracking in some capacity. We currently have the Dragon to the south. A dragon threatens Meswich and the surrounding area, which is currently the main quest these guys run at the moment. And then we also have some side quests such as the Lingering Shadows, and also Ervad keeps elemental keys. All various quests here that have side notes on, just so I can get a quick reference of what they are exactly, and if I need more information I can always click on these notes to get more information if necessary. Under that I have service requests, and again all these do have icons or notes associated with them, so I can quickly go ahead and make them all. But here you can see that this is a longbow +1 enchantment, and I have a little note saying it was actually Wynn who requested this, where it was requested, and how long it was going to take. Same with this one, it was a Manticore Rose necklace, and that was actually requested. And you had Vandrin that requested it. Haven't actually linked that, but I should do. It was purchased, or the band was actually purchased at the Jiri shop, and also a Manticore Claw, and this was in a local jeweller's in Valdian. And then, just because letters are always a little bit funny to keep track of, I have a letter section to keep track of letters that have been sent and received, just so if you need to go back you can go ahead and find what actually was said in certain letters, so you know roughly when things were sent, when they were received, and what information was transpired. And then underneath, very lastly, is just notes. Just a general area if I need to note something down quickly and maybe come back later and add it in somewhere within my vault. Now, I do have this on GitHub, so if you guys actually check down in the depths below in the video description, you'll find a link to this so you can copy and paste it in fresh, so you can use it in your own notes and vaults. However, you can go in here and see very simply that this is basically a data view. This is basically saying that this is a card data view, and I currently want a rows of 5. You can always change this to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so on and so forth. I'm not 100% what the limit is, there probably is, but essentially this is just saying how many do you want per line, and since I've got 5 characters at the moment, it just makes sense to have all 5 there. And it's saying, yep, this is a data view. It's just got no ID, and then this is the things in order what it's calling. So the link file path name as name, that's basically just calling on the file here, or the file name, and it's making it linkable. We also have then the embed art, so that's basically saying that we want to get the art and embed it. So we've got these here as the references. And then similarly to how we've called information in the past, it's just we're getting the pronouns, we're getting the race, we're getting the condition and the location. And then if you remember from settlements and NPCs, you can see it's what we're specifying here, what we are looking for to meet the requirements to come into this list. So we need to look for a note icon, which is character. So all of my player characters and also NPCs are classed as a character, so they now fill this requirement, and this is where it comes into all of this planning to make sure all of these things talk together, so you can easily use these note icons for certain things. And where it contains which party, which is party 1. Now the reason why I have party 1 rather than a party name, for example, is because 1, my party hasn't come up with a name yet, but 2, party names could change, and if you're also starting a campaign, then you may not actually have one to begin with. So with that, it's always best to have just the label of party 1, and they could always be named something, and you can even note that in certain places. Like for example, you can see the title of this note is party 1-to be determined. With that, it just means I can come in there and change that and add their party name when they decide on it, and I can still have the identifier as party 1, as this is my first party within this vault, so I don't need to worry about changing anything down the line. And then as you can see here, just the and exclamation mark contains, so that means if it has this, don't include it, and that condition is dead. So if they're dead, they're no longer actually a part of this party. It means we don't have to go through that character and delete multiple things so they go off multiple lists. Just if they have dead, it means they disappear off them. And the perfect example for that is if I quickly go into my characters and player database. You'll see here Ezekiel Wode was one of my third party members who did die and is no longer part of the party. You can see here that they actually have the dead condition, and so they don't actually come on that list there. If I jump on here, because I'll be honest, they didn't give me anything for their character. So I got nothing to really spoil in here besides anything else that I have designed in my in the background, essentially, which I have actually got in other places, so I don't have to worry about spoiling it in here. But you can see that this is my player template. It's something I do need to improve on, and I will give you guys a template down the line. But as you can see here, it just has the condition dead, and it just calls on not like anything else from there. But if I go back to the template, you guys can just see all of this stuff follows the same exact example as we've been doing previously. Just I can go to letters, for example. You can see it's just got no icons, which party is associated with, and various details such as statuses of if it's been delivered, what session these were sent, and bits of quick information. So I should hopefully be a quick one, guys, but it's a very useful tool and I do recommend on using it. I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one. See you later, folks. Take care.